So praying is important and it must be done. Are you with me tonight? Bible says in Luke 18, says, always pray and never give up. Romans 12 will say, be faithful in prayer. Ephesians 6 will say, pray in the Spirit in all occasion with all kinds of prayers. Always keep on praying for all the Lord's people. Colossians 4 will say, devote yourself to prayer. I like the word devote. Now, researched it a little bit, and it says, give all you got. It means give a large part of your time. When you decide to devote yourself to prayer, you are all into this. Are you with me? Come on, people. In 1 Thessalonians 5, it says, pray continually. But there is something that I want to emphasize in this message that goes more than our discipline, our faithfulness in prayer that I found repetitively in the Bible during the act of praying, is that there is something powerful that happens when prayer is combined with that trait or attitude of never giving up. I found that there are multiple types of people when it comes to prayer. And I'm a church boy. I kind of have explained that to a person today. I'm a church boy. I was born in a Christian home. My parents were Christian. And when I turned 14, my dad became a pastor. So I became a pastor's kid. So I spent my entire life in church. I grew up in church. My life in church. And so I've seen all types of prayer. I've grew up in a Haitian, black, traditional, old Pentecostal church, holiness type, right? Where in the Haitian way of prayer, your entire body is into it. You know, one day I'll put a service from my dad's church in Montreal. You'll see how they pray. They're like, oh, Jesus, I want Jesus. You lose our voice. You sweat. There's something happening when they pray. You know, and I grew up like that. The preachers, they have a 7-day to preach, and after the third service, they have no more voices because they're all into it. But there's different types of people when they pray, and I realized that, and I'll just come up with two. There's many, but there's one with two that I've seen very alive in the church, and what I've seen. There's one type of people that when they pray, but they already have a plan B. Are you with me? They pray, but we pray with a plan B just in case God doesn't respond in the way or the time that we expect. So and that was me, because I was a control freak. I wanted to control my outcome. And so I knew that, I know how to pray. I know the church jargons. I know the church needs vocabularies. I know all the colloquialism of the church. I know the big words and the weak words. I know how to call on God with big, deep prayer. But I knew that if he wasn't answering in that frame of time, that I knew there was a proper time for him to answer, I had a plan B. I had another idea. And I would just want to tell you that if you are that type of person like I was before, every time I went to plan B, it never worked. I just want to let you know, right? After high school, I have a high school degree. I have nothing else because I was praying for what's next with lots of plans. I was praying for God, what do you have for me, with my own plan already laid out just in case God wasn't answering that quickly. Are you with me? So there's a type of prayer that when they pray, they have a plan B, just in case God doesn't respond in the way or time we expect. And there are other types of people that I've seen, and I've grown to become myself, and still growing in that area. There are other people whose prayer is the only plan. Are you with me? And there is something about people whose only plan is prayer that makes their faith and the way they move in their journey with Jesus unstoppable. This is where I want to take myself and you today to cultivate a hunger. Can you say hunger? A desperation. Say desperation. Yes, to cultivate this hunger, this desperation for God, especially when we seek him for things we can't see through on our own. Are you with me? And I want to urge you that if you have something, God has given you a vision, or you're setting yourself to pray in a way for things that you want to seek God for, I want to tell you to vision something impossible that only God can do. So when you pray, you have no control over the outcome. Are you with me? I started to pray big because I knew that when I was praying for small, I just had to work 40 hours to make it happen. So I started to pray for something that even if I would work 40 hours, I would make it on my own. I need the Lord. Are you with me? I need God intervention. So I will pray, even though I work, even though I do my part, I do my responsibility, but I know it won't happen with my own might, with my own strength, with my own smarts, with my own charisma or energy. It won't happen on my own. I need God to see it through. So that's why I want to urge you to pray things that looks impossible, seem impossible, that are not reasonable, that are even irrational for God to come and intervene and to stir your faith in a way that make you unstoppable in prayer. Are you with me?